Thank you for tuning in to podcast number 44 of Sports Talk with JWock. I am your host, Jonah Walkenfuss, and today I am going to be talking about how the All-Star Weekend might have been a colossal failure, and I'm going to be giving my thoughts and opinions on that. And then after that, I will be giving my post-All-Star break power rankings for the rest of this regular season in the NBA. So if you want to hear more about that, make sure to stay tuned. Once again, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Sports Talk with JWock, and I appreciate all of you that have tuned in to this week's episode. And if you guys did not watch or pay attention or haven't been paying attention to the NBA at all recently, we had a little bit of an all-star break where basically there was a week off where there was no actual NBA games, essentially, to where the players get a big break and we get to be able to celebrate on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in what we consider All-Star Weekend. So typically, All-Star Weekend is a very fun event for everybody to be able to watch on TV or attend. It's also fun for the players and their families to be able to go and just spend time together. And especially if they're all-stars, they get to go enjoy that as well. But in my opinion, this year might have been one of the worst all-star weekends of all time. And that might be a bold statement, but I truly do believe that. I'm going to first kind of go day by day, so Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'm going to give each day kind of its individual grade, and then I'll give an overall grade for All-Star Weekend in general. But personally, before I say anything, I think All-Star Weekend to me was an absolute failure. And by the way, before I go on, this background, yes, I'm having camera technical difficulties, so it's showing a little bit more of a wider range, so that's why you're seeing a little more of my room. Which, by the way, if you guys want a room tour at some point, just let me know. Comment down below, hit the like button to let me know that hey, you guys want to see kind of the whole room and kind of my setup and everything, so that would be kind of cool for you guys to see. But anyways, let's get into it. Friday is a day where they have the Celebrity All-Star Game, and then they have the Rising Stars Game. The Celebrity All-Star Game is not great, in my opinion. If I were to give it a grade, I would give it an F. I really don't care about watching celebrities playing basketball. I just want to see the players that are actually in the league playing. But that's just my thoughts and opinions on that. And the Celebrity All-Star Game is just feels kind of scripted. I don't know if that's just me, but just let me know your guys' thoughts and opinions on the Celebrity Game. I think a lot of people don't even realize that it's actually a thing in All-Star Weekend, so we're just going to kind of breeze past that. So kind of the first big event is the Rising Stars Game. I personally really like the Rising Stars Game and the format they have right now. I feel that the Rising Stars Game is one of the more interesting things to watch compared to everything else in All-Star Weekend, just because it feels like the Rising Stars are very competitive. They actually do want to do well, and they want to do good and kind of show off their skills to the NBA world, especially since maybe a lot of people don't know about a lot of these players. So that's really cool. And I like the tournament format for only the Rising Stars. I don't like it for the NBA All-Star Game, but I will talk about that in a second. But yeah, I really like the tournament format. One thing they added was the winner of this Rising Stars. I keep almost trying to say skills games. The Rising Stars, the winning team goes on to play on Sunday in the All-Star Game, which I think is kind of dumb. I know a lot of people were saying, "Oh, we got to change it up," and I 100% agree. I think there's things you got to change, but I also don't think you should add Rising Stars to the All-Star Game, especially when it's such a privilege to be able to be voted in as an All-Star. You need to give those All-Stars that day only to be able to show off their skills and not have Rising Stars who weren't even voted into the All-Star Game and putting them on to play on Sunday as well. So I think that's kind of dumb to me. But if I were to give a grade for the Rising Stars, I'm going to give them an A. I think it's a really good event to watch. I personally recommend watching it. But if I were to give the whole day a grade, I would give it a B- because the Celebrity All-Star Game just brings it down significantly just because it's just not fun to watch. It's just super boring. And in my opinion, if you're going to do like a Celebrity All-Star Game, in my opinion, do like past NBA players and WNBA players and have them play against each other and not like celebrities that like singers or something. Like, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see Kai Cenat play basketball. I'm going to be honest with you. Some of you guys watching this probably don't even know who that is. And that's my point. Let's have like Charles Barkley. Let's have Shaq, Kenny Smith. Let's try to get Michael Jordan to come out. I mean, let's have all Magic Johnson. Maybe not Magic Johnson, but Larry Bird maybe. Just have them play against each other. It may not be like a fast-paced game or anything, but it would be entertaining. It would be really fun to be able to watch like past NBA players and past WNBA players as well, like Candace Parker and stuff like that, to be able to go out there and play. But yeah, that's just my thoughts and opinions. Next up, we have Saturday's events, which is the Skills Game Challenge, the 3-point contest, and the dunk contest. So let's start with the Skills Game Challenge. So I personally think that the Skills Game Challenge is was honestly not too bad this year. They had more of the relay format where two players would be on the same team. They'd literally be on the same team in the NBA as well. And it was really unique. It wasn't. It's just two players in general because they did have the rookies. But anyways, it was really fun to watch that. I thought it was cool doing that kind of relay race type of thing. One thing I would change about the Skills Game Challenge, though, is instead of just having like the teams race against time, I would have the teams race against other teams at the same time and then just do like a bracket format. I think that would be a little more entertaining in my opinion. They did like the past couple of years, like, or just a couple years ago in general, sorry. They would literally have you race against each other and do a bracket format, but it would be only one player. Well, why not combine the two and do a relay format, but also a race in a bracket format as well, if that makes sense. But yeah, I would give, personally, my grade on this event this year, I'd probably give it like a B. I thought it was pretty solid. I thought it was probably the best event on Saturday, believe it or not. But yeah, next we got the 3-point contest. I personally think there's not much you could change about the 3-point contest. I liked how last year they did the Sabrina versus Steph. I think that kind of added a little bit of added a little flavor to All-Star Weekend that we never really saw, and it was actually brand new. So I think they should definitely bring that back, or maybe try like a different event, like worst 3-point shooters in the league going against each other, and obviously still the normal 3-point contest. But yeah, I think that would add a little more entertainment as well. Instead of just having a bunch of advertisements, which is what it felt like they had this year. I also think in the 3-point contest, they need to add better 3-point shooters in it. Like, no offense to Cam Johnson and Norman Powell and whoever, you could replace anybody. Like, we want to see like Steph Curry going against Damian Lillard, Buddy Hield, Klay Thompson, stuff like that. Like that, add Tyler Hero since he won. Like, that would be a lot more fun to be able to watch. And I mean, you were in the Bay Area. Put Steph Curry in the 3-point contest, but that's just my opinion. If I were to give the 3-point contest a grade just by itself, I would probably give it like a solid B+. I thought it was good. But I think if you add those other elements, that would be a lot more fun. And then finally, the final event for Saturday would be the dunk contest, where Mac McClung literally stole the show. I mean, he was dominating. He's been dominating the past 3 years since he even started in the dunk contest, and it's been super fun being able to watch him do all these incredible dunks that, nobody's ever really seen. I mean, we saw him jump over a car, grab the ball from a guy who was holding it in the car, and then he did a reverse jam. Like, that was incredible. That was super cool to watch. I do think, like, as far as other NBA players, since like Mac McClung has already went out and said like he might not even do another dunk contest, and if he doesn't, it's just going to be NBA players, right? So I think the actual NBA players actually playing in the NBA need to have a little more creativity in their dunks. It just feels like they're just doing recycled dunks that we've seen in the past dunk contests before. I mean, I think the first dunk was Stephon Castle did basically what Vince Carter did in the Bay Area 25 years ago, which is like, it's cool, but Vince Carter did it a lot better, and it looked a lot better. First off, because Vince Carter threw that down with authority, but then also, we've never seen it before. So, we want to see some dunks that we've never seen before. It's not going to be easy to do that, but that's what makes it so unique. The dunk contest so unique is you got to have creativity. No more of this just plain old windmills. We see that in games. We want to see stuff that doesn't happen in games, and you show off your true jumping abilities. But anyways, if I were to give the grade for the dunk contest, I thought it was really boring outside of Mac McClung. And the only reason why, and I'm going to give the grade real quick. I'm going to give it a B, and the only reason why is because of Mac McClung. If Mac McClung was not in this dunk contest would be an F. It was so boring. I'm serious. But yeah, let me know what you guys think and how you guys think the dunk contest can improve. Finally, we have Sunday, the All-Star game, the game that everybody really likes to watch. Well, that's not necessarily true, but the All-Star game was horrible, just to say the least of it. It felt like the All-Star game was really boring. There was just way too much advertisements. I mean, after like every 10 to 15 points scored, there was commercial breaks and stuff, and just like nobody wants to watch that. I thought it was cool when they like recognized the NBA on TNT crew with like Shaq, Chuck, Kenny, Ernie, and all them, but like, I don't know, like it just felt like they were making it way too long. Adam Silver, you got your bag. Congratulations to you. And you know what I got? I got a great nap out of it. So great job, Adam Silver. You got your money. That's all you really care about anyways. So, not really, but like, I really do think that this tournament format for the NBA All-Star game was just so boring. Like, it was so just annoying. And we have, rising stars playing. It was like, it just doesn't make sense. Also, Kevin Hart being added to it, that was not good at all. I did not like Kevin Hart in that. I don't know. It was just really boring. Let me know what you guys think. I don't really have many other thoughts. I mean, we even heard, I guess I could say one more thing. Reggie Miller, he was talking about, during the game, he's like, man, we've seen more blocks than the past couple of years. It's like, great. That's defense. Well, we've seen, more fouls. Cool. That's how basketball is played. We need to see real basketball. I don't want to just see them walking around, and just throwing down dunks. I want to see some actual, somewhat competitive basketball, and it's kind of hard for them to do that because a lot of these players don't have the motivation to do that. But anyways, that's all my rant. That's all I have to rant about for the NBA All-Star Weekend. So let me know what you guys think down below. I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions, and if there's anything that the NBA can improve on going into the future. But after this break, we are going to be talking about the post-All-Star break power rankings to finish off the regular season in the NBA. So if you want to hear more about that, make sure to stay tuned. And we are on the final topic today of Sports Talk with JWock, and I'm going to be talking about my post-All-Star game power rankings. Now, just to clarify, this is my opinion. This is based off of how I think these teams will finish the season. This could go horribly wrong for me, or insane, or it could just be, not too bad. But first, I wanted to name some honorable mentions before I get into the top 10, and I named an honorable mention for each conference. For one team for each conference, essentially, to where I think these teams could make a sleepy playoff push going into, the playoffs. So for the Eastern Conference, believe it or not, after the amount of times I was making fun of them last year for being horrible, the Detroit Pistons, okay, they are a sleeper team. Cade Cunningham's been healthy. I know Jaden Ivey isn't healthy, but Asar Thompson's healthy, and I tell you what, that's good enough because that man is a stud. They also have Jalen Duren, who, in my opinion, is one of the most underrated centers in the NBA. This Pistons team is cooking. They are dominating, or not dominating, but they are playing very well. And they have a great coach now. They have a well-built team, adding Tobias Harris, Malik Beasley, and Tim Hardaway Jr. and all those players. Great additions, by the way. So I got to give a round of applause to the Detroit Pistons. Congratulations. This has actually been good roster construction for the first time, and it feels like forever since the Pistons have actually done that. So congratulations to the Pistons. You've made my list of actual good things to say about you. Next up, for the Western Conference, I have a sleeper team in the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves are a team where, I don't think you can really, write them off. They have Anthony Edwards. Julius Randle's still a solid player. Rudy Gobert's a solid center. I mean, he's not great, but he's solid. You can't write specifically Anthony Edwards out, and I think Rob Dillingham might have a really good final push after the All-Star break, and this could be a really good team going into the playoffs, even if they're a lower seed team. So those are my sleeper picks. Now I have my top 10 for the power rankings. I'm going to start from 10, build my way up to 1, and then I'll kind of give my reasoning as I do each pick. So at number 10, I have the Indiana Pacers, and their previous ranking on my mid-season power rankings was not available, so they were not ranked on my list last time. They're 31-23. They're fourth in the East. As of late, they've really picked it up. They've been playing a lot better. The last time I was doing these power rankings, they were really struggling. Tyrese Halliburton specifically was really not taking any shots. He's been a lot more aggressive offensively now, and that has really led the Pacers to a much more successful season, and that is why they are now fourth in the East. It also is because, the Magic had some serious injuries and stuff, and the East is just not that great this year. But in general, the Pacers are kind of rolling late as of late, and I think they definitely deserve to be on this list. Next up, we have a team that also was not on my list last time, and that is the Golden State Warriors. They are currently 28-27, and they are 10th in the West. And some of you guys may be like, Jonah, what are you talking about? The Golden State Warriors, the team that is 10th in the Western Conference? Yes, I think after the trade deadline, they made a huge splash by getting Jimmy Butler. I know I said that it wasn't a great extension. I understand that. But honestly, I will admit I was wrong. I still think the contract extension is pretty bad, and it's they overpaid him. But Jimmy Butler, he's a hooper. What can I say? Jimmy Butler is an absolute baller, and now he's paired up with Steph Curry, the best shooter of all time. And Steph Curry, you can never write off in the playoffs. And I think this team could be rolling as of late. Moses Moody's been playing a lot better. You've seen him develop. Once Kuminga can come back to health, that could be really crucial for that team. And that could also add to their bench depth as well. And Podziemski's starting to play like he did his rookie season. Excuse me. And he's just looking a lot better. I like what this Warriors team's doing, and I think they could be climbing up the rankings very soon here. At number 8, we have the Memphis Grizzlies. They were previously 4 on my power rankings. They've dropped 4 spots. They are currently sitting at 36-19, and they are 3rd in the Western Conference. This is a team that, while they are currently at 8 for me, I still think this Grizzlies team is phenomenal. They have great depth. They have a great starting lineup. The problem is I don't know how good Ja Morant's going to do in the playoffs. I'm a little concerned about that. I'm also concerned about their injuries. I mean, this team just does not know how to stay healthy. They've been healthy as of late, but who knows if that's going to stand for very long. So that's why I have the Grizzlies at number 8, because basically these rankings are how I think they're going to be able to roll going into the playoffs. And some of these teams may not even make the playoffs. Who knows? Anyways, at number 7, I have the Milwaukee Bucks. They were previously number 6, so they dropped one. And just because a team drops does not mean they're worse. It just means some teams might literally just be rolling as of late, and they might, be a little better, in my opinion. The Bucks are currently 30-24. They are 5th in the East. This team just traded away Chris Middleton for Kyle Kuzma. I think Kuzma's been kind of an iffy fit. I think he's been decent. I think, it's just going to take a little bit of time for him to be able to mesh. Bobby Portis being out for essentially the rest of the season due to suspension is a very crucial loss for them. Obviously, he's going to be back in the playoffs. I think it was like a 24-game suspension, 24-25 game. I'm not 100% sure. But that is a big loss for the Bucks. But if he's back for the playoffs, I think they'll be all right. I think this is a dangerous team. Like I said, and this has been kind of the thing that's been said for a long time with the Bucks, is if they can stay healthy, I think they can make a genuine push. But, are we going to bet on Giannis's health, Dame's health, and stuff like that? I don't know. Now that you got rid of Middleton, kind of one of your more injury-prone players, that might be really good for you. So we will see how the Bucks do. But right now, I have them ranked 7th. At number 6, I have the Houston Rockets. I think the Houston Rockets are an incredible team. They were ranked previously 9th, so they've jumped up 3 spots. They're 34-21. They're 4th in the West. And the reason for this is the absolute resurgence of Amen Thompson. He has been phenomenal. Jalen Green has been fitting in with the system. Jabari Smith should be coming back somewhat soon. Fred VanVleet's still a very solid player. Şengün's playing well. First-time All-Star. Congratulations, by the way, for him. This Rockets team is very exciting to watch. I love watching these younger teams that are kind of emerging and kind of taking over the league, and it's just really exciting to see, and the Rockets are one of those teams, so that's why I have them ranked number 6. At number 5, we have the New York Knicks. They were previously 8th, so they've actually jumped up 3 spots as well. They're 37-18, and they are 3rd in the East. This team's looking dangerous. OG Anunoby's actually playing tonight, so that's a good sign for them. Josh Hart's been injured, but I think he'll be all right come the playoffs. Jalen Brunson's been playing phenomenal. Cat's playing well. It seems like those two specifically are starting to click more. And this team is just starting to roll, and they're going to be a dangerous team to play against in the playoffs. So look out if you are playing the New York Knicks. At number 4, this might be a surprise to some of you guys, but I have the Boston Celtics here. They were previously 1st, and they were also 1st in my preseason power rankings. So the Celtics have dropped 3 spots from the last time I ranked. They're currently 40-16, and they are 2nd in the East. That's an incredible record. I'm not even going to lie. But there is a lot of question marks going on with the Celtics. Adding Torrey Craig is a really good addition for them. But I personally think this Celtics team is going to be dethroned this season. I feel like the other 3 teams above them are just better this season, and they're just playing great basketball, and it's really fun to watch. So, yeah, that's why I have the Celtics ranked at number 4. At number 3, I have the Denver Nuggets. They were previously 5th, so they've also jumped up twice in the rankings from the last time I did it. They are sitting at a record of 45-10, and they are 37-19, and they are 2nd in the West. Sorry, I was reading the wrong thing. The Nuggets have, I believe, 9 straight wins right now. They are rolling as of late. Jokic is still a player where he could easily win. He could definitely win MVP again. He has been having a phenomenal season. We're starting to see Jamal Murray starting to pick it up a little more. Aaron Gordon's playing pretty solid. Porter Jr.'s playing pretty solid. Julian Strawther's also been decent. He's been a good role player for them. Christian Brown's been stepping up, so that's why I have the Nuggets at 3. At number 2, I have the Cleveland Cavaliers. They were previously ranked 3rd on my list, so they've also jumped up 1. Their record right now is 45-10, and they are 1st in the East. They also have the best record in the NBA as of now. They are just rolling as of late. I would have not expected the Cavs to be able to play this well right now and just being able to play this well throughout the whole entire season, but they're doing it, and they're going to make a run. This team's looking dangerous, and that's why I have them at number 2. And at number 1, if you haven't guessed already, it is the Oklahoma City Thunder. They were previously ranked 2nd, so they've jumped up 1, and that is a huge jump for them. They're sitting at 44-10. They, I believe, play tonight, so if they win, they'll be tied for the best record in the NBA, and they are 1st in the Western Conference. This team is absolutely rolling. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander right now is the front runner for MVP. They have a great starting lineup in Jalen Williams. Chet Holmgren's back to health. Hartenstein's healthy. Aaron Wiggins has been playing great as of late. Caruso's coming back. This team is just looking dangerous, and that is why I have the Oklahoma City Thunder ranked at number 1. And real quick, I'm going to put my power rankings up top real quick so you guys can kind of see and read that real quick. But anyways, that is going to be the end of this episode of Sports Talk with JWock. If you guys want to follow me on any social media platform, I am on Instagram at sportstalkwith_JWock3. I'm on Spotify at Sports Talk with JWock. I'm on TikTok. Again, I'm back on TikTok at Sports Talk with JWock. And I'm also on Facebook, and it's no longer JWock and Foos, but it is Sports Talk with JWock. So you could search that up and find that on Facebook as well. Anyways, thank you for tuning into this episode of Sports Talk with JWock. I greatly appreciate all of you guys tuning into this podcast, and I hope to see you all next week. Have a great week. God bless.